always be dazzled by the wonders of the fantastical worlds, fantastical realms. Trolls, giants, dragons, wizards, warlocks, witches, magic, swords and sorcery, the whole 9 yards. One day, I discovered that the dividing lines between the real and the unreal, the reality and the fantastical, wasn't always so clearly defined. I was going on a little stroll down a nice little back trail that I always used to hike. I'm just strolling along. There's a nice little breeze that it just snowed the day prior, and it was still cool enough to retain the crispness of the fallen snow on the ground. It was still relatively cool in the 30s. So I decided to take a nice little winter stroll. The trees were just covered. It was a nice little mix of evergreen trees and dead, shedded deciduous trees mixed. I'd just look around, and although that I had been to this place many times before, walked on this trail many times before, especially in the winter, there was just something about today that made the whole scenery seem eerily familiar. I didn't know what to make of it. It was weird because I'd been here so many times before, and yet it looked like I felt like I was somewhere else. I had been to that somewhere else before, that other realm. I shook my head and continued about my way, enjoying the scenery, lightly whistling to myself from time to time, humming to myself, and wondering what I was going to do for the rest of the day after this and for the weekend. But in the distance, I could feel something beckoning me. Something that wanted my attention. Something that wanted me to be there. Wasn't quite sure of what to make of it. Something wanted me. I didn't know how to react. I didn't know how to respond. I've never felt this way about anything before. Initially, I tried to keep walking, but the feeling got stronger and stronger until I could hear a voice yelling for help, almost. It was very faint, but I didn't know what to do. I called back, "Are you out there?" But there was just another callback of help. So cautiously, I went into the forest, through the snow. Underneath underbrush, dead underbrush, frozen underbrush. I kept going and going. I was getting closer and closer. call for help was almost ear piercing. I was almost right on top of it until when it stopped. I was at this, what appeared to be a frozen creek. A frozen creek that was right next to sort of the side of a hill, side of a mountain almost, surrounded by boulders. And in the creek were skeletons, frozen skeletons. I shook, I shivered, but I couldn't move. The skeletons were dressed in medieval regalia. Medieval attire, something you would see in a fantasy movie, or you would expect Vikings to wear. Shields, swords, axes, bow and arrows, armor, helmets, mail, chainmail. But they were just frozen there. I just didn't know what to make of it. Until one of the skeleton's skulls, its head began to turn in my direction. Looked directly at me and muttered, "Hell." I froze. I was dumbfounded. I didn't know what to make of it. I didn't know what to do. I gotta get out of here. I gotta get out of here. I kept saying to myself in my head. My mind was screaming at me. Go, 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 leave, now, run. But I was frozen in place with fear. I couldn't react. Couldn't move, hardly. The skeleton began to move out from the stream, along with another one, and another one, and another one. The boned demons had cracked out of the stream and were beginning to move in my direction. Axes, swords, daggers, flail and chain, everything ready. They were moving right toward me. I didn't know what to... Just at that moment, an arrow whizzed by my head, striking the tree behind me. I take off running. The band of skeletons come after me, their bones crunching in the snow, their hellish laughs and battle cries echoing through the valley. I go as fast as I can toward the trail. But once again, when I'm at the creek, skeletons are not far behind me. Arrow whizzes by my arm, scraping my left bicep, drawing blood. Shit. I take off again. This time, the snow begins to lightly fall. I look for a hiding spot, but feel as though it might just all be hopeless, that the hellish band might get me, might still on my tail. Another arrow whizzes by, just lightly missing my head. Shit. I run for cover. Then I hear a sound in the distance. A low rumble. A growl. Another growl. Deep, long, foreboding, serious, hellish. Curiously, I no longer hear the band of skeletons ranting and raving. The forest comes to a near complete stillness. Complete quiet. Silence. Another low rumble. Even lower. Even deeper. Even louder than before. My hair stands up on the back of my neck. What the hell could this be? A level of fear sweeps over me that I've never felt before. A level of fear that's far deeper than what I experienced with the skeletons or anything else that I've experienced in life. Another low, long, deep rumbling growl. The sound echoes through the valley. Even deeper, longer, and scarier. My blood chills. My bones turn cold. The air gets even stiller. Even cooler, even colder. Harsher. As though the air temperature had gone from the low 30s to now being well below zero. I hear screams in the distance. Screams in the distance. Torturous screams. I had to go see what it was. Despite everything within my natural instinct telling me to run, I had to go take a look, see what was happening. I walk several minutes and I make it back to the creek. All of the skeletons were slowly being refrozen. Despite screams of agony and protest, they were still being frozen over. Once again, back into the creek. Slowly, another rumble echoed, this time much closer, much deeper, and much more menacing. One last scream for help echoed from one of the skeletons, until they were all completely frozen over, frozen solid. Another rumble, this time with a little sharpness to it. Then my eyes direct me to the opening. An opening of a cavern, a cave, nestled into the rocks at the side of the mountain, next to the creek. A pair of cold, icy blue eyes, pupilless, almost plasmic or flame-like in its texture, stare right back at me. Another low rumble. The temperature drops even lower. I begin to shiver. Even though I have all these layers on, I'm starting to actually shiver. Another growl. The stove begins to fall even thicker and harder. Till I begin to feel a burning sensation in my feet. Ice begins to surround my boots. It begins to slowly etch around my boots and my feet. And it begins to start at my ankles. I scream, I thrash, I protest. But the ice has its way. Sharp pains snap through my flesh, my bones. The grip of solid ice begins to crawl up my legs, my calves, my knees, my upper thighs, up to my abdomen. I scream for help. Then a low, deep laugh echoes from the cavern. The abomination mocks me. I yell for help again. I flail. I struggle. But the ice keeps coming up. Up my torso, my chest, on my shoulders, and all my arms. I'm entombed. I can't move. move. I can't move. I can't move. I can't. I fight for breath. Just as the ice begins to go up my neck, the surroundings, the whole world turns dark, and only the glowing blue eyes remain visible. The eyes start towards me, rumbling once more. At that moment, I snap out of it. I'm back on the trail. What the hell? I shake my head and... Did I just daydream that whole thing? What the hell just happened? What the hell was that? I think to myself. No, no. No. Then I noticed the cut on my left arm. I check it and realize that it's bleeding. What the? At that moment, the temperature makes a sudden drop. Snow begins to fall. And I hear that growl in the distance. I shake my head. And I blast off running back to my truck. And one last wicked laugh echoes through the valley as I make my way back home.